Well, what's with this fancy schmancy layout? Well, I'll tell you. In this here video, I'm going to pick the 7 options for tomorrow's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate reveal. There's the last character they're revealing tomorrow. I think it's like 9 a.m. California time. The very last character for the whole deal. And then they're moving on. I'm interested in this. I mean, I'm a casual Smash fan. I play it with my kids. I bash the buttons. I'm going to play it with members of the stream. But I'm not like... I get that it can be a real deep game, at least certain versions of it. But that's not how I play it. I just think it's fun. Well, the reason it's piqued my interest to this degree, that I'm willing to sort of color outside the lines, which y'all know I don't do, and change the layout of the screen, is because the head of the game, the lead designer, lead producer, Masahiro Sakurai, he has said this. He says, basically, the new fighter, he says, you're going to want to tune in tomorrow. Even if you don't play the game, it's going to be something special. He says, the quote is, the new fighter may be a character that you don't know or different from what you expect, but I hope you enjoy the broadcast. And he basically says, you're going to want to tune in even if you don't play Smash Bros. So I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Because you can hear a lot of hardcore fighting game people who are like, oh, I forget the guy's name. I want the Ninja Gaiden character. Or I want this kind of pure mechanic thing or what, that wouldn't interest me. But now that he's like going, oh, this is much more mainstream, I'm like, okay, now I want to put my thinking cap on, and which you can order. Listen, I have 7 categories. One of these I think is going to be the one. The first one is how I would approach it if I'm a business executive. What's a good business decision? The second one is my fanboy, my own personal fanboy desires and wishes. The third one is what I think is probably the most logical, and then the more logical is the fourth one. The fifth one is what I think would be a great character choice for game design. The 6th one up there on the left is that pretty lady shooting you the bird. She says, hey, this category is one that that Nintendo could pick that would be a big fuck you. Funny, but it would be a fuck you. And then the one on the far right, I could see it. I don't think it's going to happen. I could see it, but it's the one that in my heart of hearts would just make me, I'd probably shed a little tear sitting at the computer tomorrow when this gets revealed. So let's just get started. This is going to be a very low budget affair, but that's okay. It's fun. It's homey. It's folksy that way. This is, if I was a business executive, this is what I would choose. Okay. And I know a lot of fans aren't going to like this one, and that's fine, but I would choose for the final Smash Bro. I would choose, see, he's got no legs. I would choose either the sort of Mayor McDerp, which I think his name is Mr. Beef or something. I don't even play Fortnite. Or I would choose the unicorn from Fortnite. Not because I think Fortnite's the greatest thing in the world. I respect it. I admire it. When I was working in games, I was, of course, envious of it. It's a wonderful piece of success. But because, honestly, that's mainstream all over the world. It's huge. Younger kids love it. Older adults and fanboys may not love it, but it's not like they're not going to play it if it's a cool character. This is going to kind of be a really good way to close off the franchise, or at least close off this iteration of the franchise. Plus, I want to remember, Donald Mustard, who runs the Fortnite franchise for Epic, was talking to Keeley, and when Keeley said, this was a while ago, are we getting Fortnite in Smash? I think Donald said, I can't comment on that now. So there was like the now is weird. The no comment alone is weird. The no comment now is even weirder. So my guess is that this is a safe bet from a business standpoint. I wouldn't be jumping to jump back into the game because of this, but I think a lot of people would. So the Fortnite characters, or at least one of them, would be the business exec guess. Now let's go fanboy. This is the one I care about the most, but now the fanboy in me would love that. I would love Spider-Man to be in Smash Bros. I don't think that's going to happen, though, because even though I haven't heard anything about an exclusive deal that Sony has for Spider-Man in video games, the fact that he's only in it on Marvel Avengers on Sony, and that we've got Miles and Spider-Man and there's on PS5 and 4, and there's the heavy relationship with Wolverine with Marvel. Back in the day, I remember it was like, and they probably still do this, where you would negotiate a deal, like if Activision had all the rights to the Spider-Man characters, and you were making an Iron Man game, which we were talking about doing, we couldn't use any of the Spider-Verse characters, but we could use all the Iron Man-verse characters, which was like Pepper Potts and Whiplash and all that. So I think legally speaking, the rights to him in games may not make a lot of sense. Okay, so let's goodbye, Spidey. I love you, but goodbye. So then I go, well, another one that I think would be great because the MCU is popular around the world and would be a great character would be Captain America. But then you go, well, that's probably not going to work because that's very American-centric. This is a game that's a huge success all over the world. But I do think a Marvel character makes sense in Smash. I think it's time. And I think where we're going to end up is probably the one who started it all, who really made Marvel go mainstream for the, well, yeah, mainstream. Beyond comics, certainly MCU. I think Iron Man is a potentially realistic character that we will see tomorrow, who I also think would perform pretty well in Smash. If I'm being purely logical about this decision, I would tell you that the logical money at first is on this guy, Crash Bandicoot, finally coming. All of these, by the way, fit with what Sakurai has said, where he says the new fighter may be a character that you don't know or different from what you expect. Basically suggesting maybe that, yeah, you've played Crash before, you've played, you know, the Fortnite characters before, you never played them like this. So I think Crash is logical, but then you start to think, well, maybe not so logical, because even though Activision has put Crash on everything, it still is thought of as a PlayStation mascot for a lot of people. So I could see Nintendo saying, yeah, we're not doing that. All right, so Crash goes the way of the dodo. Sorry, pal. Oh, actually, he's logical. He stays there. He's logical. But the more logical choice is, I think, more of a worldwide accepted third-party character, which I think would be Lara Croft. It would absolutely, again, none of these would surprise me. I think Lara Croft makes a lot of goddamn sense, okay? This next one, the design, like as a designer, the one I would love to get my hands on, and I think would be fucking awesome creatively and fanboy-wise and check all the boxes. It's all these seem possible, but look at this one. Can you imagine? Luke fucking Skywalker comes to Smash Brothers. Think about that. Think about it at a design level. He's got the melee, he's got the blaster, he's got really cool force powers, he's got the grapple hook swing. There's a lot of cool shit you could do with Luke Skywalker in Smash Brothers. So I think that one is the shit. Okay, now if we're going to get to the wild cards up top in a minute, but look, I don't think we'll see either of the wild card ones tomorrow. We might. But the ones on the bottom, these 5, I think it's going to be one of these 5. I really, really do. And if I had to put them in some kind of order, I would say I would expect to see Fortnite is number 1, Laura is number 2, Iron Man is 3, Crash is 4, Luke is 5. But we'll have to see. We'll tune in tomorrow. This time tomorrow we'll know. Okay, the fuck you one that I just think would be really funny would basically be... what if they, there's a lot of Marios. There's a Dr. Mario, and there's the normal Mario. There's a lot of Links. The game could use another Mario, so why not Chris Pratt as Mario? He does the voice. They dress him up. It looks like a little cartoony Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt as Mario is the fuck you to the audience that I think Nintendo might give us tomorrow. I really don't think that, but that would be fun. Now, this is the one that will actually make me kind of tear up a little bit. If this happens tomorrow, I just, and again, I don't want to romanticize. Everybody's flawed. Every human's flawed. No one's perfect, and no one matches their media representation perfectly. I get that. I'm not a fucking moron. But the image that this man sold to the world, and I think from what I hear from people who actually knew him, there was validity and accuracy to that image. And you have to know who I'm going to say. The image that this guy sold to the world, it would just be the perfect send-off to this great franchise, at least for a while, until the next hardware comes out or what have you. And it would be the perfect thank you, and it would be the perfect opportunity to just sort of express our love and admiration for Iwata-san there, who, if you don't know, you have to know. But Iwata was the president of Nintendo. He started as a game engineer, game designer. He and Miyamoto really oversaw that just brilliant golden era of Nintendo, starting back, Super Mario or a little bit past that up until he died. And, since then, I don't really think Nintendo, very much like Steve Jobs, has been the same. I think it's been great and successful, but I think it's lacked the same kind of heart that it had when Iwata was running things. So that would be the one that I just think would be delightful and so cool to see. And I've gone through, because I'm a fan of this franchise. I'm not so much of a fan that I went back to check, have any of these characters been in Smash before? And I don't believe so. I know a lot of fans have been asking for Laura and Crash, but I don't I don't think we've seen these other characters. But anyway, there you go. Fortnite, Iron Man, Crash, Laura, Luke, not Chris Pratt, I'm just fucking around, and obviously Owada-san. I think, but the 5 down there, we're going to be seeing Fortnite this time tomorrow. That would be my guess. I'm curious what everybody else thinks, and more importantly, I'm curious what happens tomorrow when we see the truth. Hope you're well. See you soon. Bye.